What's up, guys? Rapskyne here, coming at you with another Halo Infinite video. Dude, I'm so hyped for this game after everything that we've been seeing so far. But I wanted to actually, in this video, take a look at the Halo Infinite multiplayer overview and really just kind of watch the video with you guys and pause it throughout and give you my thoughts and ideas throughout the video. So without further ado, let's jump into that. But before, be sure to hit like, comment, and all that kind of stuff. Let's do it. All right, so first off, the new 343 Industries like intro screen when you boot up the game, like this looks pretty damn with the Halo ring there in the back. Looks good. So right off the rip, some awesome guitars and multiplayer.
Being in a firefight and hearing the click of the gun, throwing it down, grabbing one off the wall.
My gunner's upside down and he's like laying in. I see kill assist, kill assist, kill assist.
Any pistol across any of the games. Whatever gun allows me to feel the most like John Wick, I am there.
Remember.
Okay, so right off the rip, like, I don't know, just the way that they're describing everything, like it just sounds fun, man. Like we waited for a new Halo game for so long, and this multiplayer looks really damn fun. Dude, I cannot wait to jump into this.
How excited I was with like this big combat with vehicles going all over the place.
Halo means something different for everyone, right? I think that's what makes Halo great.
Oh man, I'm excited.
What is Halo multiplayer? And for me, it boils down to this tight arena style combat and big team battle, this wide open vehicle infused kind of combat.
So for me, Halo multiplayer, what really makes that special to me is really like the core, the core gameplay of it having like high time to kill, and just the way that you understand like what weapons are better than others, and really everybody having even starts at the beginning of the match, and then actually having to go out and fight for weapons on the map instead of, you know, you basically just having loadouts with weapons right off the rip. I think that really is what makes Halo special to me. That's what makes me keep coming back for more.
Taking that awesome legacy or classic Halo combat experience and modernizing it in ways that'll feel fresh to old players and really exciting to new players. We're going to give you great ways to customize your Spartan, really make your super soldier your own, and we're kicking off a journey, an experience that's going to evolve month to month, season to season, year after year.
For me, working through this multiplayer of this game, and the toughest challenge I think was really about how do we respect the legacy of what came before us, but still build something that feels new.
Yeah, and I don't envy 343's position with that, because you have so many of the classic Halo fans that are very vocal and very adamant about things like sprint not being in the game, like basically saying that Halo is ruined if sprint is implemented in the game. And I just straight up do not fall into that category. Like I've been playing Halo since CE. I played Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, all those games that don't have sprint, plus all the you know, Reach and all the 343 era games, and I love all of them. It's really just that core, like I was mentioning earlier, like the high time to kill, having even starts, that sort of thing, like that, and having to earn things on the map, like power weapons and power ups and things like that. Like that really is the core of what makes Halo fun for me. And as long as that core element of the gameplay is there, I think that feels like Halo. And I think that 343 is really honed in on that personally. So I've enjoyed all the Halo games, some more than others, but anyways, let's go back into it here.
Tried to bring all these elements of legacy and really inject them into Halo Infinite, not just like in a way where you kind of won't notice it, where you feel like, oh, they really designed this to be a celebration of previous Halo, as well as an iteration of where Halo can go next.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the right way to go. Like, make it feel classic, but at the same time add new things that make sense within that sphere Um, and again, I feel like that's exactly what they're doing here.
The vision of Arena was all about a tight experience. It was all about being fair. It was all about earning everything on the map, earning everything, every kill you get.
Going back to
Dude,
what is the
exactly
core
what I just said.
foundation of what made
So
the
good to hear.
great Halo multiplayer arena matches great. Halo, it's really about fair and balanced starts, so everybody's on equal footing when they come off the rip. And then once they start running around, it's about scavenging. It's about finding new toys and kind of developing your playstyle as you run through the match.
Yeah. Perfect. I love it. Music to my ears. I love what I'm hearing.
What makes Halo feel like Halo? I feel like the answer to that question is the sandbox. Like, the sandbox is Halo.
When we set out to look at Halo Infinite from a high level and the direction of what it is, there's lots of exciting things there because we really wanted to push what are the things that are true to Halo, but what are the things that fans haven't seen yet.
Equipment is back, but equipment is kind of has a bigger voice than ever before. We ask questions to ourselves of if you could go after a power weapon to get a bunch of kills, would you do that, or could you go and get grapple to make sure that you swing yourself to the other side of a map to back cap a stronghold?
Okay, so that's actually pretty interesting. So essentially what I'm hearing here is, you can either, instead of just straight up going for power weapons as a means of getting control over the situation or over the map, you can also do things instead of going for power weapons. You can go for basically, I guess, power ups, if you will, like basically giving yourself like mobility or, I guess, counter abilities, rather than just basically having like brute force or better just straight up weapons. So that's a very interesting way to mix up the sandbox, because traditionally, basically you want to go straight up for the power weapon so you can immediately have an advantage over your enemies, or of course, like things like OS or camo, but having other things to kind of counteract with that's actually pretty interesting.
We saw it as like another avenue of not just skill expression, but tactics for teams to coordinate around.
The exciting combinatory nature of this toy plus this toy and how those interact with objectives is super amazing.
Looking at how the power-ups play, like your classic power-ups like the overshield and the active camouflage. For this title, what we're looking at, what we're excited for, is you pick that up and you choose when you activate it. It goes into your inventory.
Ooh,
if you haven't used it and someone kills you in multiplayer, you drop that overshield and then they can take it, use it for themselves. That to me is very legacy, but we took the equipment side of it and modernized it. When it comes
Whoa, okay. So that is actually a humongous change in the way that the game will be played, because of course, in like traditional Halo games, like as soon as you pick up the power up, like the overshield or the camo, like that is immediately applied to your character. But if you can actually now hold on to that and choose when you want to activate that really, again, just mixes up the sandbox in what seems like a small way, but is actually really huge, because I guess, again, like they mentioned earlier, like you can use that to really like communicate with your teammates, like, hey, I've got OS, when we're ready to push this flag, I'll go ahead and pop that in, and that way, you got extra shields that you can use that to help coordinate and make more effective pushes. But that really makes it kind of weird, like now, like how another thing really, I guess, really more so in like competitive settings, or I guess in just, I guess, regular casual settings as well, but like timing when those things are going to spawn up again, because like, is it going to be like when the person actually uses the power up that the respawn timer for the power up is going to start again? Or that is a huge change to the way that the sandbox is going to play out. That's really interesting.
We went in and decided to invest a lot in the systems. When I take damage in my Warthog, my wheels can get blown off, my hood can get blown off.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Of the vehicle that change how my vehicle handles now, and that's something that's brand new.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I like that, actually. Like, basically, like taking damage to your vehicles changes the way that they play. Like, maybe it affects the way that it handles. Like, you can't really turn corners as sharply, or it doesn't go as fast anymore. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot.
The thing we added to that is like this doomsday mechanic, So when you hit this threshold, the vehicle catches fire, and it's very much, you've got a certain amount of health or a certain amount of time, and you gotta choose what you want to do with the last minutes of this vehicle.
Okay, so that's pretty interesting, or I guess really similar, rather, to the in Titanfall. I know in Titanfall 1 specifically, I don't remember for 2, but you had the Doom system. So basically, if you reached a certain damage threshold, exactly like he said, you have certain health or certain amount of time before that vehicle explodes. That's cool.
We've got a cousin to the Warthog, which is the Razorback.
The back
Razorback,
has this,
cool.
like, multi-storage compartment that you can put a lot of stuff into. So if you want to put like detached turrets, power weapons, fusion coils, objectives, and that is what's really making the Razorback kick a lot of butt.
4 Spartans in the back of this thing.
The levels.
And, okay, so that's also really cool too. So imagine like being able to put like the oddball or the flag in the back of this thing. Meanwhile, you got 3 people with different weapons and everything shooting. Man, it's really cool, just the different ways that they're, kind of mixing up the sandbox. I really like this. This is really cool.
Define pace for the game, how frantic it is, and they define that iconic fantasy for players as they're entering that match. What do they want to do? What type of experience are they hoping to have? What kind of combat, what kind of dance floor is there available to have that combat in?
For me, BTB is all about experiencing the full extent of the sandbox of Halo in just one match, right? Like you see the vehicles, the weapons, the equipment.
We really wanted to take that kind of concept, those feels you had, playing the previous games, and just turn the volume up. Vehicles are no longer just spawning at bases anymore. We have Pelicans delivering them, and we have a commander in your ear telling you.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Pelicans are going to be dropping off these vehicles.
Tank is inbound.
We have.
So that's pretty cool. Like, they actually have Pelicans as your respawns for the vehicle, so that really it makes it feel like a more like living and breathing battlefield, as opposed to these vehicles just appearing out of thin air. So that's actually pretty cool. I like that. But also, from what I'm hearing, this sounds like Warzone may no longer be a thing, because this pretty much has like all the elements of Warzone, other than of course the rec system and all that. That's out of the way now. That's no longer in Halo Infinite as far as we know. But it sounds like Warzone is going to the wayside, and they're really focusing on BTB this time around, as opposed to in Halo 5, where there was actually 0 developer-made BTB maps. It was all made in Forge. So to see them going all in on it this time around, it's really cool. I like it.
Halo 2 style Delta Halo mission weapon pods that fall from the sky to resupply the
Awesome.
field.
Yep.
That's where it makes it feel like a real battlefield. And
yeah. So again, this is cool. Like, it actually feels like a campaign-esque battlefield where you have, I guess, like commanders, if you will, or like overhead. I don't know. It feels like an actual like living battlefield, as opposed to just this weird thing where weapons and vehicles just spawn out of midair.
And it's very exciting.
I like it.
This is not just more players. This is just this certain beautiful slice of sci-fi chaos.
It looks so fun. And I normally don't play BTB, but that may change this time around.
The announcer is your big gameplay moments, your game modes, just like the way it was before. Personal
Jeff
AI
Sticer.
is really a reflection and information for the player.
Personal AI, designation button.
So if a player grabs a flag, your personal AI is going to tell you to, get that thing back to base and give you some like moment-to-moment updates.
Our team took the enemy flag.
What if?
Okay, so that's interesting. So it looks like Jeff Sticer is going to be doing the normal like double kill, triple kill, flag capture, that sort of stuff. But it looks like when you actually have objectives, you have the personal AI that'll actually tell you, which it looks like here, like the flag was taken, so maybe it'll tell you, like maybe give you like a waypoint or something. I don't know if they have, but it looks like it may actually tell you what you need to do, like we heard in the multiplayer trailer reveal, where it's like haul ass at your earliest convenience. So I don't know. This is still kind of, I don't exactly know what the point of this is, other than it just being like a customizable thing, because Jeff Sticer, or the regular like multiplayer announcer, has always done this, unless of course you're talking about like Halo 5 with the Voices of War. So maybe that's just what this is their kind of spin on the Voices of War pack, where you had like Buck, a grunt, and one of the monitors could be your multiplayer announcer. So I don't know. It's kind of a
if we can let players
different
choose their
take.
own AI, and each one of those are different voices, so that players can find the one that fits their personality and their mood the best.
They add to the sense of like me as a Spartan being more important, and for us in multiplayer it is really about becoming a Spartan.
Okay, so that is pretty. I mean, I like the idea of having a personal AI. You know, having something that you can kind of customize to your own kind of personality. I'm all for that. I was to say, personal AI installed. You've received a personal AI. You can customize your AI's appearance and personality in the armor hall once you complete the tutorial. Okay, so you can change the way they look and the way that they sound or talk. Cool. Okay.
Your Spartan. You are you inside of the Halo universe.
The body of customization content that we have on day one ensures that.
Wow, that's so much. Helmet gear, so helmet attachment, the helmet itself, the visor, right shoulder, which left shoulder surely as well, armor coating, your chest, your armor core, your knee pads, all kinds of stuff.
There will be millions of customization combinations for Spartans on the battlefield.
So, but yeah, I like the fact that you have so many different options as far as your customization goes. I'm all for it. And, you know, one of the things that we've seen as well is the fact that there's no longer like red versus blue. You basically will have just a red outline or a colored outline of your enemies. So you can fully see everybody's customization options all the time. I think is really cool. I personally, I really, really like that.
That includes things like armor coatings, armor emblems, various armor effects, down to the individual armor pieces. So your shoulders, your gloves, your knee pads, your helmet, your visor, your helmet attachments. Then you look at weapons. And
Tons and tons of
offerings there.
Options.
Vehicles have a,
really cool.
a huge pool of customizations too. We support customization in the game. Players can do the same thing on HaloWaypoint.com as well as the Halo Waypoint app.
The player.
That's cool too. Being able to actually do it on the fly on your phone, or like if you're not at home, you know, do that in the app. That's
also
cool.
Customizes the Spartan, the soldier inside the suit. We want the Spartan to represent the player as much as possible. They can change their body type and their voice, as well as choose prosthetics for the first time.
Wow. So, and I mentioned this in the multiplayer trailer breakdown, like whenever it actually shows the Spartans actually standing there in just their, I guess, training outfits, like in their Marine outfits, like no armor at all. You can see their faces and everything. So I wonder, because he, you know, mentioned that you can customize the Spartan inside of the suit. So I wonder, I mean, he said that you can choose like the voice, the body type and everything. So I wonder if you're actually being able to like customize your Spartans like facial features and everything too. I mean, they're leaning so hard into customizations, and the fact that he said that you can do like this, the person or the Spartan inside the armor, makes me think that you could do that. That's in no way confirmed, and I still kind of doubt it, but man, would that be cool.
Coatings offer us a unique opportunity to craft some hyper-polished looks and let you express yourselves in ways you've never been able to.
Okay, so looking at this here, all right, so we have of course, the Spartan right up here in the foreground, but then we also have this Spartan right back here. So I wonder if you're going to be able to have like multiple suits that you can just kind of swap between on the fly. Like that'd be really cool. That'd be useful for things like doing like machinima, or like say if you can just set like custom preset suits and say you just want to swap to another one, you know, in between matches or something like that. That's actually really cool. Instead of having like take the time with all these millions of different customizable pieces, like if you want to change it, like if you can actually just have like multiple presets. Dude, that would be awesome. Wow.
Before. So we're coming at this from a player-first mentality. So what that means is that there's no random loot in this. There's no loot boxes. It's very important to us that everyone understands exactly how they unlock customization content.
No loot boxes is huge. I love that.
They can do that. First off is the Battle Pass.
The Halo Battle Pass will never be taken away from you. And what I mean by that is once you buy it, it's yours and does not expire.
Also very huge. So Battle Pass itself is something that's brand new to Halo, And I personally don't have much experience. I've never really done a battle pass in any other game before, but I love like being able to know exactly how it is that you unlock something, or knowing what you need to do to unlock something. That is something that is extremely Halo, and I know longtime Halo players like myself, like that is, again, like music to their ears. This is what we've been wanting for so long. Oh man, it makes me so excited. I can't wait to grind this stuff and unlock it.
In future seasons, you can purchase old battle passes as well as the current battle pass and choose which battle pass to put your progression towards.
So also that's really cool. It reminds me a lot of the MCC seasons, where even if the season has gone, like we've progressed to like say like season 7 that's about to come out, you can still actually go back. If you do challenges in the game, you can go back to previous seasons and unlock things there. So that's really cool, because you know not everybody has the time in that certain window of time, like in a season or whatever, to actually go and unlock stuff. So the fact that you can actually go back and know what your grinding is going towards, also very cool. I like
All
it.
of these rewards are single source, so you're never going to be confused about where things come from. If you can unlock something in the battle pass, we're not going to let any other players circumvent that by purchasing it out of the storefront.
A lot of our stuff is unlocked through playing the game, and only through playing the game. All customization is just cosmetic.
Every season will have its own theme and introduce new components, new looks, new gameplay for players, new opportunities to earn and collect cool rewards.
Purely cosmetic unlocks. Dude, 3 for 3 is knocking it out of the park, man. Everything I'm hearing, it sounds amazing. It really does. Speaking of amazing, this armor right here, the Yanoi samurai armor, or Yonoi, however you pronounce it. Whew. Look at this thing. It looks so good.
We've seen the samurai already. That's one of our event armor cores, and that's going to be something that players can earn through gameplay for free.
With us going free to play for the multiplayer part of the game, like that was a big goal, because how do we have a way we can always bring players in, right? And they can, when we have a new update, they'll just dip their toes in if they even just want to see it.
Not only are we free to play, but we're free to play on PC as well as console. And what that means is we're able to get the biggest audience we've ever had. I mean, everybody gets to play with no barriers, and even better, your progression carries from one platform to the next.
Getting our game to be on PC and console at the same time is an amazing chance for us to really just kind of excite new players about the game. How can we do things like make cross-play interesting, and like even in just customs, being able to just play with your friends. That like some people have PCs and some people have consoles, and like let them talk to each other, let them be friends.
Yeah, it is a very good time to be a gamer, like being able to play with other people, no matter what platform they choose, which, not every platform in Halo's case, you have Xbox, you have PC, and the fact that it's free to play and there's basically zero barriers is huge. So many more people are going to be able to play this game and get excited about it. It's awesome.
Why are you here?
Okay, so this is what I was talking about here earlier. So we have Captain Lauret here, who will actually be, Commander Lauret, who will actually walk you through like training and everything. And you have these Spartans that are lined up here, and again, playing his day, like you can see their faces and everything. So I wonder if you're going to be able to customize that, or like if it just won't like actually show your particular Spartan's face. I don't know. Cool idea. I like the sound of it. We'll have to see.
The Academy is a place that you can go within MP to kind of onboard into the experience. It's great for newer players who are still picking up the controls, and also people who want to warm up before they head into matchmaking. It's a series of experiences, both a tutorial to get started for the first time, weapon drills to practice with specific items, and also training mode that you can use to just get warm, explore the game as you want to.
For players who are new to Halo, let's help them learn what this universe is about. Some of these characters, what are they about? And help them kind of know the vocabulary that people have been speaking for now almost 20 years, so that when they come in there, they don't feel like they're behind everyone else. They can kind of come in on an even footing.
Our goal with bots has been to have a variety of difficulties that kind of provide a good training partner for wherever you're at in the experience.
Yeah, that's huge. Like actually having like bots to warm up with. I like the sound of that instead of just having to go in and, I don't know, if you're not warmed up or whatever. Like I feel like people have wanted bots in Halo for a very long time, And the fact that they actually have like different difficulty levels as well is something really cool to hear. I can just envision now like different challenges or different achievements that would be tied to that. Maybe like some unlocks of fighting against like Spartan difficulty level bots or whatever. I like that. Like, so myself personally, again, I've been playing Halo since CE, and I do find it very difficult to get friends of mine who haven't really played Halo to actually jump in, because they find that it can be really overwhelming whenever you're actually trying to play against other players who have been playing for 20 years at this point, and they feel like they just kind of get slaughtered right out of the gate. So actually having a tool like this to kind of help them get used to the way that the weapons feel. It's like, for me, whenever I first started playing Halo, like I pretty much was like, all right, I don't really want to jump into the multiplayer just yet, because I feel like I'm just going to get stomped right out of the gate. So what I would do is I would actually play the campaigns, and until I kind of felt like I could beat Legendary pretty regularly. And in my mind, like, if I can play Legendary campaign, then surely I'm ready for multiplayer. But in reality, those are two completely different experiences. So being able to actually have bots in a multiplayer scenario is really going to help out new players. And like she said, it'd also be really cool to have that tool just to be able to warm up before actually jumping into actual matchmaking. So I like that. I really like that.
Partnering with our players on the road to launch and after launch is absolutely critical, right?
I mean, Halo's always been about the community conversation.
We want to make sure we hear our players, make changes where we can based on that feedback, make sure the game is ready for launch, and then even beyond launch.
What I'm genuinely excited about is taking the game out of our hands and putting it into the community's hands. Whether it's seeing what people make in Forge, or the content that they're able to create with theater, watching streamers go after the game.
To get involved.
Okay, so he kind of brushed right past that, but he pretty much did confirm that it looks like Forge and theater are going to be a thing, which I think is kind of a given, but they have not mentioned that whatsoever outside of this video. So that's good to hear. And I like the fact that they're actually focusing on the community here, because I think that's one of Halo's biggest strengths is the community itself. Like the things that people can actually make in Forge and the different custom games and everything. Like I really hope that 343 kind of doubles down really along the lines of what they did in Halo 5, where they implemented like Forge contest and had people be able to put their community maps into matchmaking. And those were often, but I feel like they could be even more often. I would love to see them double down on community made things, and like they said, like mentioned like feedback or things they made in theater or Forge. Like really, I don't know, I just really like the fact that they made that a pillar in this video. So that actually makes me super excited, because I love being able to play like community made stuff. It's so cool.
You go to haloinsider.com, put in your info with your gamer tag, and we should be able to reach out to you if we want to invite you to a Halo Infinite flight.
We feel like we've got a pretty good selection at launch and what's going to be there for our fans. And this isn't going to be something that is just a static set of items. We have some new stuff in the works already, and just can't wait to really get into that as soon as this game comes out.
Good. So that's good to hear. So what it sounds like is, I mean, they pretty much have the game done at this point, and they're in polish mode, and they're actually, working on new stuff already. So that's great. It's really good to hear. Like the fact that they have somewhat of a roadmap already is great. Like Joe Staten actually mentioned earlier that they had a season, or he might have actually mentioned that in the blog post, but the first season is going to be called Heroes of Reach. So that looks like that kind of explains like why there's a lot of like Reach looking armor. So it'll be interesting to see what they explore in the future, where they have like Halo 2 or Halo 3 style armors, and maybe see armors from previous games come back in a new coat of paint.
New maps, new modes, new ways to customize your Spartan. Launch is just the beginning. Now we're just going to be able to talk, interact more frequently, and that's just going to be great. That is the future of Halo Infinite multiplayer.
Thank you to the community for all their
Sounds
feedback over the years so far, and I'm looking forward to the road to launch itself, and beyond.
Awesome. Dude, I'm so stoked. I cannot wait to play this game. Looks so fun. So like they mentioned earlier in the video, if you have not signed up to be a Halo Insider, you need to get on that because the first flight for Infinite is coming out this summer. So if you want to play this game early, I strongly recommend that you go ahead and do that. So, but with that, I think we're going to come to the end of the video. What did you guys think? Are you excited for Halo Infinite? What are you most excited for? Are you worried about things that you've seen? Let me know. I'm pumped, man. But with that, I will see you guys next time. Rapscallion out.